Yeah, sorry about dropping you there. This stupid telemarketing company, I've already told them not to call me up, and they still try to call up my celly here. We got a few more people that are showing up. The way the weather is, can't blame it. I see some more people up there up the top. So maybe we'll go join them in just a second. Put the old gloves on, folks. For my viewer, if you could retweet this out for me. For some reason, my Twitter's not going out. So if you retweet the fact that we're going to have a live stream going here, that would be great. Meanwhile, I want to take a little walk up here. That's where I was headed. Again, if you're just joining us, we're down here at Zuccotti Park here in New York City. This is Freeman Sullivan. Thanks for joining us. Now we're getting ready to have End Citizens United demo here. I'm having a little trouble tweeting out, so if you would tweet out for me, let me know how the audio visual is doing.
They are the exact.
A little bit of precipitation coming down, but not much. people are trickling in. There's about a dozen people here so far. Hopefully we'll get, there's not cooperating, but hopefully we'll get 100 people maybe. That's what I'm hoping for. Here at Zuccotti Park in Financial District. A block and a half away from Wall Street. Another block from the American Stock Exchange.
Matt's a lot better at this than I am.
Keep getting error messages from Twitter. So let's try Facebook again. Sorry for the people that are watching Facebook, my Twitter's not going out. But if you do catch it, at Freeman Sullivan, ustre.am/N, little h, little u, capital D.
Hi there.
How you doing? Un momento. My name's Clark, Freeman Sullivan.
Yes, we have met before.
Yes.
Yes, how are you, Clark?
Not too bad, not too bad.
What are you out here to do?
Live stream and participating in a demonstration.
Who are you sending that out to?
Just whoever's watching.
Okay. You know, did you send out a link to where that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm tweeting it out. And yeah, if you're interested, they are archived on. I got a card. Okay.
Yeah. Drop me an email on that.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay. Let me take a picture of you here.
Sure, Derek.
Up against the backdrop.
Okay.
There we go.
Jerry's gonna take a picture. Can you watch it?
Hold it. Beautiful. Okay, one more. Hold it. Great. Now drop me a line so I can connect the picture
Will do.
with the face.
We'll do.
So how long have you been doing this?
Live streaming, about 2.5 years.
Yeah?
And I've been an activist for over 40.
I'm sure of that. What's your full name?
Clark Sullivan.
Clark Sullivan.
Clark Sullivan. I'll send you all my contact info.
Yeah, please do that.
No problem.
So,
Happy to be here. This is what I came here to New York to do.
yeah.
Just moved here from San Francisco.
I'm from the Bay Area.
Okay, so you know the Bay Area, right?
Very well. Yeah. I went to school in San Jose. Had office in San Francisco. Raised my family in Foster City.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's
that
it.
is, of course.
Yeah. So I miss the weather, but not much else.
Well, I do miss the weather. I've missed the weather. Who cares about anything else?
Oh well, we're here. I'm here for political reasons.
Yeah.
You know, because we need this is the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
And if it's going to happen,
Hello, Belly of the Beast.
it's got to happen here.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's it.
San Francisco is really great, and we have a lot of we have a huge activist movement there. But you know, like with the rest of the country, like when people hear about what's going on in New York, they tend to pay a little more attention
Yeah.
than they do if it's out of San
Happening
Francisco.
in Medford, Oregon.
Yeah, or DC.
Or DC.
Yeah.
Even DC. But DC is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go down there next week for a little bit.
Oh yeah? Who are you going to meet with?
Well, I'm actually going to be meeting at the Icelandic embassy, and I'm going to be meeting some of Julian Assange's people. And,
Why don't we learn how to put bankers in jail? Have those guys do a seminar on that.
Right? Yeah. Well, they were the only country that kicked out all the banksters, right?
That's right.
So
They got kicked out and we got bailed out.
right.
That's a nice difference, isn't it? We have a sick society here that decides to victimize the victims and heroismize the so-called banksters.
I'm in total agreement about that.
Changing.
And money is not a vote. Right.
Well, but it's free speech. Don't never forget.
Money is not free
Remember,
speech.
corporations are people, my friend. Where did I get that quote?
Oh, yeah.
From a loser. Yeah, that's what I got.
Well, that's why we live stream, because we are the media.
We are absolutely.
And we don't have to depend on mainstream media anymore.
I have my 15 minutes of fact on my radio program. Have you ever seen that? Or heard
No, I haven't. I'm going to check it out when I get back to the house.
So I started archiving interviews with occupiers early on, not understanding what I was doing. Just that, so I had to do, because I knew it wasn't getting out on the mainstream press. Somebody had to hear the real facts.
Right.
Took it upon myself, just like you're doing what you're doing.
That's right. It's got to happen.
How dare you?
Well, I have a lot of interesting stuff, so I'll make sure that I let you know what I'm up to.
Oh, I bet.
You know. Yeah, because like I said, I'm just getting here. I took a couple of weeks off just to goof off, but starting this week, I'm gonna actually get back into the grind. You know.
Where were you in San Francisco?
I was living on 6th and Market.
Yeah.
And I totally changed the culture of the building I was living in, because when I moved in there, I was I was disabled, I couldn't walk, and the place was basically a dumping ground. They dumped all the sick people in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Right, it was God love them. At least San Francisco does that for people and gives them a room. But it was not a great room, and people were mad at each other. It was fighting all the time. The staff didn't respect the tenants, and I managed to change it through a lot of smiling and a lot of hellos and being nice when I didn't want to be nice, but being firm and having lawyers dealing with my
very helpful
yes.
thing. So
I was very fortunate.
Were you in business at all?
Well, I was up until I was injured.
What were you doing?
I'm a software engineer.
Software engineer.
I write software. I do coding. Right. I do special projects.
You still do any of that?
Oh yeah, completely yes. Now that I'm back healthy again.
How'd you get hurt?
I had leukemia a few years back, and my bones got really brittle, and I was crossing the street and my leg shattered. This is in San Francisco. I went back there to buy some cannabis, medical cannabis, right? And
got any on you?
Right.
I feel an illness coming on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, we're gonna get that changed here in New York too.
We are.
Right, because I'm working with the cannabis activists here as well, and the bill that Cuomo's got going right now is not. Doesn't go far enough, because somebody with me, who's a leukemia survivor, is not eligible under the. You got to be dead to get it.
If you're dead enough, we'll give you some.
Yeah, we'll give you some.
We'll be connecting. We'll check in with some other people.
Yeah, we're gonna focus back in here on the action. There we go. Sorry about that, for everybody who's watching. A little brisk out here, but not mind-numbingly cold.
Yeah, so that's how you got it. I have no idea. That would be like an hour. But every time
Right? So the sun's coming out a little bit.
Now it was a white. But now I turn it into a tour guide.
NLG observers safeguarding us against legal crap. Well, it looks like a pretty mellow scene. I don't think we're going to have too many problems with the police department.
that's alright. Yeah.
down here in Zuccotti Park in the financial district of New York. Walking away from Wall Street. How you doing?
Live streaming?
Yes.
Good. Somebody should live stream. I've live streamed too many times.
Well, never, man. This is my 353rd live stream.
Oh yeah, I have.
Well, I remember when you were visiting the Bay Area.
Yes, I do remember you.
Right.
You were Freeman Sullivan.
That's me. How you doing? So I just moved here to New York.
Good.
I'm living in Brooklyn.
People like you here more.
And so I'm really excited about being here in New York and being a political activist.
What have inspired you to come to our great city?
To be to where this is the belly of the beast, right? If we're going to have an effect upon the world, it's got to happen here. You know, I mean, we have great activists in the Bay Area and stuff, but when people do stuff here in New York, it tends to gets noticed more.
So who's watching right now?
Oh, I don't know. I got about 5 people online watching right
Ping
now.
Or?
No, just probably. I haven't even looked at the comments, see if there's any comments going. No, nobody's commented just yet.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been doing the stream because kind of I'm doing guiding tours now. So
okay.
I'm a tour guide, professional tour guide.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's a pretty good way to make a living. So do you think people around this area? Of course, right?
Right now I'm on buses, but I want to take people around this area specifically when I advance as my own entity.
Okay, well, that's cool. Always good to be enterprising and not working for the man, you know. I try to stay.
I don't work for the man technically, but I will. It's kind of like I don't work for the man, but I'm not beyond myself to work with the man in terms of promoting establishments.
Oh yeah. Well, that's different. You know.
That's why politicians like me, because I'm a promoter. They don't like my political views, but they like me as a promoter.
Right.
Hey, go here. This is a good restaurant.
Agreed. Well, I'm not here to get people to like me. I'm here to, it's a point that we have to make here. And then we have to end this money that's in politics. It's got to stop.
Yeah.
Right? That's going to happen or not. Well, that's why we're down here in Zuccotti Park. We're starting to get a nice little crowd showing up. Got about 20-25 people here.
Yeah.
And Citizens United.
It's been so busy a job.
That's a nice thing. I don't have to work.
Is anybody out in the West Coast still giving you problems? Or I still hear stuff from San Francisco.
Well,
still hear.
Yeah. Well, you had those so-called like they're a bunch of kids, and I know no offense, but they're a bunch of kids that are not experienced in politics, and like they started this thing. It's like using black bloc tactics, which is really stupid. And when you got arrested that day, like the police were onto what they were doing, obviously, right? And there was talk that you had cooperated with the police, right? And like I already battled it out with these idiots. Like they were trying to tell me when I couldn't live stream and what I could cover. And when I was like I was in the Bay Area since 1981, right? So when it comes to politics, I generally know the people that are organizing whatever's happening, right? And telling me that they were trying to tell me I couldn't go inside of a squad or whatever. I told them, I said, fuck off. It's like I don't want you to tell me I'm a reporter. Don't tell me what I can and cannot report. So I got into it with them, right? And I actually had to go in and I actually had to hack the person who was sending out all these vicious, trolling me with these tweets, right? And but your stuff's like, gladly. The people are on trial for that. They're called the AC
19.
Yeah, they're still going to court. And when I went down there on a live stream, they weren't. I actually went down to 850 Bryant, and they weren't like very friendly towards me.
I still get trashy.
Yeah, well.
You cooperated with the police. Who am I going to cooperate with?
Right, and all your stuff's online anyway. And it doesn't matter because all your stuff is online anyway, and it's not really up to you. It's up to Ustream, right? Whether or not they want to release those files or not, right? So whatever the police do, is immaterial, right? Whatever you do, excuse me, is immaterial because they actually have to subpoena you.
It's all public anyway.
Yeah, and plus the people that are harassing you are all haters anyway, so don't like.
The way I think about it, if you're gonna do stuff like that, and I'm not saying that you should do stuff like that. First of all, you don't dress all in black in the middle of the day in the daytime.
Right.
You do that at nighttime.
Yeah.
You do that at nighttime when nobody can see you. You don't do that in broad daylight. You'll stick out like a sore thumb.
Right. Plus, smashing windows is not going to bring anybody to the cause.
It's going to just make.
Yeah, I'm actually live streaming and recording.
It's going to make people more suspicious.
William.
Nice to meet you, William. My name's Clark. Freeman Sullivan for people on the web. And we're out here live streaming here at Zuccotti Park in New York City. And why are you down here today?
Same reason you are probably.
Okay, which is?
Get rid of that corporations being people, person. Having that right. And, I don't know, keep up the tradition of Occupy Wall Street.
I agree with that.
Keep it alive.
Keep the spirit alive. Occupy Wall Street. Definitely. And we're getting a few people here today. I was at a demonstration on Monday at Jacob Javits for Bush was in town.
What?
Bush?
Oh yeah.
GW. He was speaking toward the National Retailers Association, I believe it was called. And we just wanted to be out there, remind everybody that Bush is a war criminal and that he should be arrested for his crimes. So that's what we were out on Monday, past Monday.
I was in Puerto Rico. I just got back yesterday.
Okay. My roommate's from Puerto Rico. I just moved here from San Francisco. So I've been an activist for 41 years.
Yeah. Who's been active? You? 41?
Since 1973. Or no, 1971. I was Penn State.
How old were you then?
I was 11.
11.
Yeah, I shut off. I was the AV, one of the AV geeks. The guy who had the projectors and stuff.
What?
The kid who ran the projector in elementary school. They used to have kids in the movie projectors. I was one of those kids. I figured out a way to shut off the intercom during the Pledge of Allegiance the day after all the kids got killed at Penn State. And so I did that during the Pledge of Allegiance. And was forever branded a rebel for the rest of my life.
Good for you.
Yeah. So that's how I started my organ. That was my first act of rebellion. Well, that was my first overt act of rebellion. And been doing it ever since.
I used to work in Wall Street as a clerk for a small brokerage firm. And I got to see a lot of the anti-war demonstrations going by. I wasn't active at that time. I told someone, why are you protesting? Oh, we fight for freedom. And she said, that's bullshit. That's what she needed to tell me, and then I believed her.
We get started here.
Title of my presentation is How to Stop the Empire While Keeping Your Day Job.
Hi.
My name is Jerry. Today, and this is the Citizens United edition. It's going to be different than what you've seen before. I did this presentation on S17, and it's not going to be anything like that because I don't remember what I did on S17. And I got one other thing to say. I don't want to mislead you. The title of my presentation is How to Stop the Empire While Keeping Your Day Job.
What's your name?
I have not kept my day job.
I'm Manuel.
And people ask me, how did you lose your job? I didn't lose my job. I know where it is. It's in Chennai, India, in a phones bank, and the guy who's doing it is named Rajesh. He's an Aries, and his favorite color is saffron. Okay, I don't know what his favorite color is. My point is, we're here to talk about Citizens United. And I'm going to talk about Occupy. I assume you're all supporters, right?
Yeah!
So if you're like I am, you joined Occupy for specific reasons. You support Occupy for specific reasons. I support Occupy because I was tired of my legislators not listening to me when I talked. I wanted to get rid of economic inequality in this country. I wanted to stop the wars and slash the Pentagon's budget, and most of all, I wanted to see some bankers do a perp walk for wrecking the economy, trying to value my house, looting my pension, and making sure I could not retire. And you see, when I tell people that, my, okay, I have to be polite here, my bedwetting liberal friends, when I tell them I'm supporting Occupy, they all come up to me and they say things like, oh no, you gotta work within the system, don't protest, you gotta sign up candidates, you gotta register people to vote, hope and change, hope and change. Okay, so 2 years later, Occupy is still going, economic inequality is worse.
Exactly.
We have a president who's conducting covert wars with drone strikes and about to sign off on $1 trillion to modernize the nuclear fleet. And all those banksters, the statute of limitations has run out. Here's the crazy thing about it, okay? The banksters have been committing crimes ever since. They've been laundering drug money. None of them have been indicted. I don't know if you know this, the Department of Justice building is the Robert F. Kennedy building. It's in Washington, D.C. It is the world's largest office building where no work takes place. But my friends were right about one thing. The government is listening to me. It's called the NSA, except they're not listening to me because they care about what I think. They're turning over all my metadata to their nerd squad. Their nerd squad who thinks that that TV show, what is it called? Missing Link or whatever, is a documentary, okay? So, we are here today to talk about Citizens United. This was the nicely gift-wrapped turd we got from the Supreme Court 4 years ago because obviously things weren't going badly enough. And it cracks me up when people think that if we tip over Citizens United, things are going to get better. They're going to get better than they are, but they're not going to get better enough. Because the fact is, okay, wait, how many of you look at Facebook once in a while? Come on, admit it. Okay. How many of you seen that dumb meme about how much Congress creatures make? Right? Well, it's $178,000 a year, and yeah, that's awful. And I'm making $405 a week on unemployment, except it ran out. But my point is, we're expecting those $178,000 a year Congress creatures to go supervise somebody like David Koch. Because if you're an ambitious Congress creature and you want to have as much money as David Koch, all you got to do is save all your money for 3,000 years. That's how much wealth is in this country. It cracks me up when Congress calls these people to account, calls people like Lloyd Blankfein and Jamie Dimon. They make 100 times what a Congress creature makes. What are they going to listen to? Jamie Dimon has a Jackson Pollock in his house that's worth 25 times what a congressman makes in a year. Who's going to supervise who? And if you're a really good Congress creature and you do everything right, Jamie Dimon's people are going to come to you and they're going to say, we've got a lobbying job for you. 10 years at $1 million a year, just keep your mouth shut and we'll give you a job on K Street. So this isn't, you're going to hear people today telling you to sign petitions and protest Citizens United. I absolutely agree with that. But I want to talk about my bedwetting liberal friends because they cannot accept an inconvenient truth. We don't live in a democracy anymore. We live in an empire. An empire does whatever it wants to do. You cannot take some individual part of an empire and take it down. You got to take down the whole thing. Yeah. And the people in charge are not listening to us. They don't want to listen to us. And that's been true for years. The first protest I took part in, me and 10 million of my close personal friends marched against nuclear weapons. Guess what? We still have nuclear weapons. So, absolutely sign the petition. Absolutely go to the protest. Absolutely do all those things that need to be done. But we have to have a plan B. So people have been coming up to me and asking me what I should do. You know, what should we do to change things? Okay, I got a 10-step plan. Ready? Yes. I get out a pencil here. Okay, step 1. Stop working so goddamn hard. Really, stop working so hard. Because the fact is, you're not getting any extra money from that. The 1% are. And the fact is, if you kick up your income enough, you're paying more in taxes than Mitt Romney is. And the other fact is, if you're working too damn hard, they don't have to hire anybody else. So stop working so damn hard. Step 2, do not buy crap you do not need.
Bravo.
Because the fact is, we're all buying crap we don't need. We're all addicted to the stuff that comes out of China, and we gotta stop. And if you stop buying crap you don't need, you stop paying the sales tax. The government has to respond. Step 3, take the money you're saving in step 2 and help out the people who are fighting the good fight. And you know who I'm talking about. And that also includes the people in jail. Somebody ought to send Chelsea Manning a check once in a while. Just saying, okay? With me so far? Okay. This is step 4. Things are going to get a little more complicated. We're going to have to think about this a little more. Start fucking with the IRS. Have to be careful about it. Now, I'm trying to tell you this while you keep your day job, so you have to be careful about it. But the fact is, the IRS is built on voluntary compliance, and they're not ready for 40 million of us to take our 1040 forms, send them back with no money in them, and sign them Dick Hurts, okay? There are other ways to do that, and in my longer presentation, I'll talk about that. Okay. We're up to step 4.5. This is step 4.5. Stop giving the government extra money. You are all adults here. I don't think I should have to tell you this. You're not going to win the lottery. And if the money for the lottery was really going for education, people wouldn't be stupid enough to buy friggin' lottery tickets, okay?
Bravo.
Thank you very much. Okay, that brings me to step 6. Turn off your internet machine, stop tweeting the twits, and start meeting your neighbors. Your neighbors are at least as pissed off as you are, and they don't know who to blame. And you need to make friends with your neighbors because the FBI is going to start looking for all of us soon, okay? Make friends with your neighbors. Step 6. Yeah, I'm at step 6. Okay, step 6. I used to say this, don't make fun of poor people, but don't make fun of anybody. Look around yourself, look around to the guys who are watching us. You have more in common with anybody here than you do with the billionaire class. And somehow we got to get our shit together. And that means we can't start judging people on what they worship or what they say. Step 7.
Bravo.
Occupy juries. It's a dirty little secret that the whole legitimacy of this system is based on the idea that the jury system is fair. Once juries stop convicting on the government's say-so, everybody who's standing accused of a crime is going to start asking for a jury trial, and the system starts to break down at that point. Occupy the jury. Step 8. Okay, this is really hard. Everybody has to speak truth to power. I was talking about my bedwetting liberal friends. They aren't speaking to me anymore. But the people here, I'm sure you all understand, if you are doing these protests, that we have an obligation to each other to call out liars and to shut down bullies. We owe it to each other to do the right thing. Okay, step 9. You need to come to demonstrations and march your ass off. Now, I know demonstrations do not bring down the empire, but I got news for you. You don't go to demonstrations to bring down the empire. You go to demonstrations because after spending a year being the only guy in your office who thinks George Bush is a war criminal, it's nice to meet 4,000 people who agree with you. And maybe at that demonstration, you're going to meet people who who will agree with you enough that you can go plan how to stop the empire. And step 10, my last step, you have to learn to have fun. You have to figure out a way to get through this. Because this is going to be hard and it's going to take a lot of time. Bringing down an empire is not a sprint, it is a marathon. And we all know that not everybody who starts a marathon can finish a marathon. So, I want to encourage all of you, when you hear other speakers today, to listen to them, to sign the petitions, to call your Congress preachers, to do whatever. But we've always had the power to do this. We just have to recognize it. And let's see. I'm just about finished. I have a book coming out. It's called The Tubby Radical's Guide to Diet, Exercise, and Revolution Yo. It's coming out on Amazon as soon as I write it. And one more thing. If we wake up on Monday morning and the empire is gone, let's meet here to find someplace warm. Bring beer and weed, okay? Namaste. Lots. Shalom. Thank you.
New York City, and if you're like me, you're down here today because you're frustrated. You're down here because you're wondering why, despite all the crimes committed during the financial crisis, why no one's gone to jail. You're wondering why, despite overwhelming support for a minimum wage that's livable, it still hasn't happened. You're frustrated because you look around and see signs of climate change everywhere, but our elected officials do nothing. Why is this the case? Why does nothing happen? I think most of you here today know why. It's because the people that are making money from the status quo are spending billions of dollars to keep it from changing. So I'm here to talk today about a way that we can fight back, and that way is amending the Constitution to clarify that only people have the rights under the Constitution. Corporations do not have those rights. They were never intended to have those rights. We also want to say that money can be regulated in elections. The biggest problem with the corruption of big money in our political system is it's not the obvious corruption, brown paper bag type of corruption, it's legal corruption. It's legal corruption because the Supreme Court has ruled that corporations can spend unlimited amounts of money influencing our elections. That's our fight. Our elected officials spend half their time raising money. So how can a candidate that really wants to change the system succeed in a system like that? And it's not just the Citizens United decision. It's accumulation of a century of case law. But post-Citizens United, things have gotten worse. Over $7 billion was spent in the last election cycle. That money's drowning our system and making sure that average people don't have a voice and don't feel like they have any control over the direction of their government. And it's not just a federal problem. Actually, it's much worse at the state level and at the local level, where every dollar means a lot more. You've got a situation in West Virginia where to get elected to the judiciary, you have to run, you have to raise money. And who do you think the biggest donors are to the judicial races in West Virginia? The coal companies. So of course, when a case comes up before these guys, they know who to do favors for. You know, it's not bribe, but now we call it contribution. You also have a situation even here in New York City where despite fair elections and public financing, you have people that can come in, outside groups with friendly names like Jobs for New York City that are paid for by real estate developers that can come and bury candidates with negative advertising. Now the Supreme Court has heard a case called McCutcheon versus the FEC. If you're not familiar with it, you will be. You will hear about it. It's Citizens United 2.0. It's an Alabama businessman who feels that being limited to spending $123,000 per election cycle is limiting his free speech. Who here among us thinks that $123,000 isn't enough to get your voice heard? ready to get their voice heard.
Here, here.
So the way that we could do that is to support an amendment to the Constitution. We're not anti-business, we're not anti-jobs. We all need jobs. What we need is an economy that works for all of us. We just don't think that corporations and special interests should have the exact same rights as people under the Constitution. That's not a radical position, it's actually a deeply conservative position. It's not an objection to the position. It's the way things were when this country was founded, and we want to clarify that for the Supreme Court. We're not saying that no one should be able to donate to elections or speak out, but we're saying that it should be up to the people to decide how much. How much can we spend before only the very few have a voice and the 99% have nothing? So, amendments do happen. That's important to know. The Constitution's a living document, and when the people decide it needs to be changed, we change it. That's how we got the popular election of senators. That's how women got the right to vote. That's how prohibition happened and then didn't happen. That's how 18-year-olds got the right to vote, and it happened as recently as 1996, and it was over congressional pay. So these things do happen. What we need to do is get organized. And we actually are organizing a response to McCutcheon when that decision is handing down. If you'd like to get involved, please see me. You can sign the petition to amend the Constitution if you haven't already, and learn more about it. There's going to be a lobby day in Albany on April 24th, where we're going to go and get FaceTime with our state senators and get their positions on whether or not they support a resolution in New York State to amend the Constitution. This has already happened in 16 states, and we think it's high time for New York to get on board. If you're here supporting fair elections, we're not trying to hinder that effort. We want to work together and make sure that both of these important issues get advanced. So again, if you're interested, if you want to know more about this, please see me. You can sign the petition. I have other information. But really, I'd just like to close and say that everyone here has something on the line. Whether you want to leave a better world for your kids, or you need a living wage here and now. These issues matter, and money in politics is the foundational issue. So if you want to change things, you have to start there. Thank you very much. Hope to talk to you later.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Harrison, and I've been with this movement since the fall of 2011. I've been fighting alongside most of you for about 2.5, going on 3 years now. And we've been through a lot. It's good to see all of you out here again today after a really rainy, crummy day. And I'm with Fed Up today, Fed Up 100, and I've got a few things to say about the Federal Reserve and Citizens United. Before I do that, I just want to take it back a step and say a few things about the movement in general, since we're all here. You know, this is a good turnout, this is a good action. But for some of you who've been around a little bit longer, you've been back in the day, you've all seen it bigger. There's so much at stake. We have to do better. We have to start turning the volume up again. We have to start doing things that actually resonate with the people out there again. Like, we have a tendency to think that we are the people here in this movement, and we are, but there are other people outside of this movement who, for whatever reason, are not identifying and coming in. And frankly, I think what we have to do, we have to stop showing so much contempt for one another online and on these private messaging threads. We have to start showing more contempt for the systems that are oppressing all of us, irrespective of where we come from. And the system I want to talk about today a little bit, in addition to Citizens United, is the Federal Reserve. Now, I want you to forget about that $700 billion TARP bailout. That's just that's a drip in the bucket compared to what the Fed has been doing for these banks for the past several years. They give the banks as much as $85 billion a month for various rounds of quantitative easing in order to keep these banks propped up. If you don't know what quantitative easing is, you need to go Google that. You need to find out, because there's a lot of dark stuff getting done without us being aware of it. Now, the thing is that the Federal Reserve, all it does is it just picks up the bad investments that these banks make. It makes the central banking system more unstable, and then these banks get to record a profit on their balance sheet. They get to make it look like they're making money even though they aren't. Now, what do they do with this money? It doesn't trickle down. Usually they just hoard it. They just keep it to themselves. But when they do share it with us, when they do decide to get benevolent, they charge us real money that we actually work to make back on that loans they give us as interest. This is truly the largest scheme for the redistribution of wealth, for the upward redistribution of wealth ever in the history of our species. We got to do something about it. The other thing, since these banks have a virtually limitless supply of money, is that Citizens United makes money, free speech. 1%, these bankers, they've created a system of unlimited power to influence our political system. This is why we got to start doing better. We got to start getting on topic. We got to start making our actions more tangible. We need objective outcomes, objective victories that we can actually point to. We need to actually redistribute wealth back to the people. And in order to do that, federalizing the Federal Reserve is a major radical step in that direction. We cut them off from their supply of money, these banks fall, they collapse, they can't make it, they're not competitive. As destructive as this system is, it's really a truly pathetic system. We can illuminate it, we can expose it, we can bring it down. That's all I got to say for now. Have a good one, all be well.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jim. I'm also the founder of the Aaron Burr Society, the guy who shot Hamilton, the founder of the First National Bank, but I'm nonviolent. We are nonviolent. Now, you all know this. This is a dollar bill. Right, you think the government issues this? But it says on top, Federal Reserve Bank. That's the New York Federal Reserve Bank, the main bank. That is a private bank. People describe it like Zuccotti, half public, half private. Not totally true, but it is a relationship between the government and the private banking system. This is against the Constitution, another violation of the Constitution. The money is supposed to be made by the Treasury Department, the government. But what happens is the Federal Reserve Bank creates money with the permission of the government by issuing debt in the form of treasury bills. Okay? And those treasury bills, what they are is a way of increasing the national debt that you pay and that the 1% the bankers get from us every time you pay your taxes. Okay? So this was started in 1913. This is the third national bank. The First National Bank was started by Hamilton. Hamilton and Jefferson fought bitterly over this. Jefferson resigned from the Secretary of State and then defeated Adams and Hamilton for the presidency with the idea of stopping not only the Federal Reserve Bank, but eliminating Hamilton's policies, which was a two-tiered banking and economic system that was the precursor to capitalism. Remember, Marx wasn't born for another 20, 30 years. We don't believe that nationalizing the Federal Reserve Bank will solve all of our problems. But this is a really, really important step of taking money away from the banking system, the 1%, and start building economies locally, which is the commons. We want the common good paid for by the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Right now, the Commonwealth is only going to the top 10% of the nation. We want to take a step. Lincoln fought against this with the greenback dollars. Roosevelt's New Deal was a different way of approaching it. What we want to do is change the system. The American Constitution values property rights over human rights. We want human rights. We want to have people and the environment before profits. We want to go beyond capitalism.
When do we want it?
Now!
Wow.
Thank you, Jim.
All right.
I'm with Jim and Harrison.
Yeah.
Yeah, a third of our finals.
And then after
Sorry guys, so I'm Lorna, I'm also with the Fed Up 100 group. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of a background. Sorry, louder? Alright. So Fed Up 100 is an educational campaign that we started on December 23rd, the 100th anniversary of the Federal Reserve. This is a campaign to illuminate the multitude of issues around the Federal Reserve that most Americans are not aware of. You heard Jim and Harrison talk a little bit about it. I'm here to sort of just elaborate a little bit and let you know how we can all help one another. So the fact that the Federal Reserve banking system is completely unaccountable to the American people is most likely not known by the majority of Americans. We held our first actions in December. We plan on having monthly actions for the next several months. It's a year-long educational campaign. So we'll be highlighting various issues between the fact that it's not accountable to the American people, the fact that it is creating debt, the fact that they're generating debt and wars with this system. During our December actions, we had a nationwide, we went viral on Twitter and Facebook. We had our hashtags, our video footage and photos going live and viral, but we need to gain and maintain the momentum. So what we're proposing to do is, like her Jim said, we're proposing to nationalize the Fed, so that would bring it back to the power to issue money would go back to the United States Treasury, back to the control of the people, and it would no longer be a debt currency. We are supporters of Dennis Kucinich's NEED Act, along with quantitative easing. If you have not heard about the NEED Act, I would suggest that you do a quick Google search to just give you an outline of what it is that we're proposing to do. My understanding is that the NEED Act is no longer on the floor, but we're looking at this as sort of an outline as to where to go further. So with the NEED Act, just to sort of reiterate, we are not an end the Fed movement. I will repeat, we are not proposing to just end the Fed and see what happens. We want to put the power to issue money back into the hands of the United States Treasury, and the NEED Act would be a way to do that and put, and put the power. Sorry guys, I'm not used to talking in front of large groups. Dennis Kucinich's bill, the NEED Act, would actually accomplish the goal of severing the ties between the Fed and Wall Street and actually forcing our government to invest in our communities.
Yeah.
So let's help each other between the Citizens United group, the Fed Up group, and the whole of Occupy. Let's unite one another to try to get this shit done. If you guys want to know more about the Fed Up 100 movement, please find us on Facebook. You can find us by typing in Fed Up 100, or on Twitter. You can follow us at Fed Up New York and at Fed Up San Francisco. This is already a nationwide coalition. We had demonstrations throughout December in San Francisco, Chicago, Philly, here in DC, here in NYC, all over. So you guys can find actions happening at all of the Federal Reserve buildings throughout the country, synchronizing our actions and our message. So if you guys are interested in that, please find us on Facebook and Twitter. And just making sure, and those actions will be taking place just down the street at the Louise Nevelson Plaza, right in front of the Federal Reserve. So you can find out more information on Facebook about that. Thank you guys.
Yeah. All right. I know, right? Slippery up here. So I just want to say a few things. My name is Samoomba. I'm from Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Evolve, one of the organizers of this event. Just want to say that we're expecting Sergio from Fast Food Forward to come, and we're going to do an action at the end of the day at 4 o'clock in front of Wendy's. There's a strike right now by a worker that was fired. She's been working there for 7 years, making $9 an hour, and they fired her because she's an organizer, but also her shirt wasn't ironed when she went to work. So we want to stand up and stand with those fighters, because we also know that the fast food industry also benefits from Citizens United. It's just another big set of corporations. So I wanted to say that. I also wanted to say I do have some buttons here for donations. We got some not too big to jail Jamie Dimon buttons. We got a Lloyd Blankfeld button. We got a nationalize the Fed button. And some other buttons if anyone's interested. $2 donations. I have them right here in my pocket. Also, I have a sign-up sheet for people that want to get plugged in to do more work around this issue. We will be going to Albany eventually to fight for getting an amendment to make Citizens United banned in New York State. Look forward to that. There's also several actions that will happening before that, including an action on Monday at Union Square. Well, first there's an action at the airport to support airport workers who are attempting to unionize and who have not been allowed to take Martin Luther King Day off. That's going to be happening at 11 o'clock. We're going to pass around the sign-up sheet between me, Ali, and someone else from Occupy Ball, maybe Scott. It's going to be a yellow sign-up sheet. If you're interested, you can get on our mailing list so you can get more information. We're going to have one more speaker before hopefully Brother Sergio comes from Fast Food Forward. It'll be Manny from Alternative Banking. Also wanted to get maybe a temperature check. I'm definitely leaning towards us. The march, basically, we're going to go to Goldman Sachs first. Just do a little speak out there. Is everybody cool with that? Temperature check? It's not that far. Okay. And then afterwards, we're going to come back here, Bank of America, Chase, Federal Reserve, Citibank, and then our rally, we're going to have a big rally at Federal Hall. Now, I know it's kind of cold out here, kind of wet, but we just hope that everybody stays with us. Keep in touch. There's also a big Move to Amend action happening. I believe it's on April 24th at Albany. So if you sign up on the sheet, you'll get all the information about that. We have a little inclement weather here. We were expecting some more people, but I like this group here. So,
considering the weather, we have a pretty good crowd.
Thank you. Where's Brother Manny?
Hey.
Okay. Brother Manny from Alternative Banking. And step down a little.
I'm Manny Manhattan, and I occupy Wall Street.
All right.
Dressed up for the occasion. As you may remember, last year, Reverend Billy married a woman to a corporation, but the corporation was jilted at the altar. Well, I also want to bring up another topic. Perhaps the name Edward Snowden means something to people out here.
Yay!
He had the revelation that the government is listening to your phone calls, your emails, and everything like that. I say, do not fear the NSA, the National Security Agency. Embrace the NSA before you hang up. Goodbye, darling. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. By the way, end Citizens United. Break up big banks. Good night, dear. Raise the minimum wage to $15. Embrace them. They're going to be listening anyway. Give them something to listen to. I say no. And always remember, all day, all week,
Occupy Wall Street.
Thank you.
Yay!
Brother Larry Long, come say a couple words. So we'll get our sign-up sheet together. This is going to be the presenter in front of Bank of America. Say a few words.
The sun's finally coming out, and it'll warm up a little bit.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. What do they call the Citizens United?
Citizens United.
How about Bankers United? The 1% United. Loan Sharks United.
Loan Sharks United.
Capitalists United.
Capitalists United.
Rich Thieves United.
Rich Thieves United.
Scoundrels and Vultures United.
Scoundrels and Vultures United.
We're more interested in 99% United.
In
99% United.
In Workers United.
And Workers United.
In Poor People United.
And Poor People's United.
And the needy against the greedy united.
And the needy against the greedy united.
What I'm going to say
What I'm going to say
at Bank of America,
at Bank of America,
in Detroit they call it,
in Detroit they call it
Skank of America,
Skank of America,
is that we don't understand why their board of directors are not in jail for all the millions of working people
who
who foreclosed on their house.
foreclosed on their house.
We don't understand
We don't understand
why their CEO
why the CEO
is not behind bars.
is not behind bars.
We don't need Citizens United.
We don't need Citizens United.
We need a citizen's arrest.
We need a citizen's arrest.
But the best way that we can get back is to support these brave workers. At places like Burger King. And Wendy's. And Walmart. And McDonald's. And almost any place around here. Because if you haven't noticed, most places are paying poor wages. The best way to get back at the 1%. Support these workers who are organizing. For $15 an hour minimum. For decent working conditions. To be treated with dignity and respect. And have the right to unionize. Because when the workers are united, they will defeat Citizens United. And all of the bankers and hoodlums behind it. Right on. All right.
All right, so now let's get ready to march, walk everybody can play on the march. So the route basically is Goldman Sachs, then back here to Bank of America, Chase Bank, Federal Reserve, Wall Street banks, and the rally is at 3 o'clock. And hopefully we'll catch Brother Sergio back forward on the way back. So let's begin the walk. Yeah, we also have a sign. Someone wants to carry the sign. These chat bubbles are actually posted by Bill de Blasio. So, yeah. Gotta hold them to it.
Thanks for all you people who are watching. Down here at Zuccotti Park. Thank you, Susie Q. Mary 420. Glad you guys are watching. And anybody else who's watching out there. My Twitter is not working, so if you could retweet this, Liberty Sons, Connie 11 Suite. We're at Zuccotti Park here in New York City. Getting ready to move on Chase.
Most of the workers, 50% of the employees, 16.
Give me a second here, folks.
$10 an hour less. Additional amount of union members would be full-time postal workers there, when in reality, we should be using the change forms to replace the post office.
Second here, folks.
say we are the 1%. We are 1%. We are 1%.
And signs. Left, right.
Da ist ja alles korrekt.
Yeah, we're still trying to get something. We're going to do an action in front of people, regardless, but he's trying to get people to go inside and present the letter.
We're moving down Vinny Chase.
Whatever citizen.
Yeah, you know what? We should have gone up.
Yeah, why didn't we do that?
Yeah.
Hands are frozen, folks.
We are still the 99%.
Here you are again, old buddy. Where's Jim go?
Well, mobilized. Might as well see it.
So are you!
It's okay. I like the long weekend
Oh, a little warmer now that we're starting to move, folks. It is a really cold day here in New York. Although it's not raining now. We're on our way to Chase, I believe. Chase Bank. We started out at Zuccotti Park. A little bit of Woody Guthrie in the background. Or no, Arlo rather. Arlo.
Spread out in the crowd now.
I don't know.
Frank.
I'm here for you. Sometimes you have to drink all Oh, this is maybe this is
Okay, sir. Thank you.
But the point is, they're willing to pay like we just said. And very soon they are. Very soon they're going to be making
We're moving through the streets of New York, away from Zuccotti Plaza. Zuccotti Park, rather. past 911. I'll try to move as fast as I can, folks.
So you were there when he went out for miles.
95% of the police have only for the
And the rest of us.
We can't even get the minimum wage.
We can't even get the minimum wage.
But we will.
But we will.
We the people know the difference.
We the people know the difference
between your calculations.
Between your calculations.
And our austerity.
And our austerity.
Goldman Sachs.
Goldman Sachs.
We haven't forgotten you.
We haven't forgotten you.
The bailout became an opportunity for you.
The bailout became an opportunity for you.
To advance your wealth.
To advance your wealth.
Citizens United.
Citizens United.
Has allowed you to pump even more money into elections.
Has allowed you to pump even more money into elections.
We the people.
We the people.
Know the difference.
Know the difference.
Between a person.
Between a person.
And a corporation.
And a corporation.
Sorry. Turn it around. We the people.
We the people.
Know the difference.
Know the difference.
Between prosperity for you.
Between prosperity for you.
And our opportunities.
Our opportunities.
For all. Okay. Goldman Sachs.
Goldman Sachs.
We haven't forgotten you.
We haven't forgotten you.
You received $5.55 billion from the government.
You received $95 million from the government.
As payment for worthless securities held by AIG.
Securities held by AIG.
Not only do you have insurance,
but
you get disaster aid. We the people. Know the difference. Between socialism. And the current socialism program for the banks. Goldman Sachs. We haven't forgotten you.
Lord Blankman.
We haven't forgotten you. Time to overturn Citizens United.
Goldman sucks!
Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks! Goldman sucks!
Also want to say, I'm just doing mic check.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
This is for NYPD. Be careful. That Goldman Sachs doesn't manage the pension fund. They'll steal it. Remember. Which side you're on. Be with the people. Okay, on to Bank of America now. Let's do it. And then Chase, then Federal Reserve, then Wall Street. Hang with us, people. I know it's kind of cold out here. But,
Kind of. Yeah, there's the recently completed Freedom Tower. which is now the tallest building in New York. Goldman Sachs. Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, we're in New York City. Here's a cutting. We're at Goldman Sachs. Getting ready to go on the move here again. We're headed for Bank of America, approximately 5 blocks away. The sun makes it a little more bearable. That's for show. How you doing out there, folks? Freeman Sullivan here, waving the cold streets of New York for you, while you're at home behind the computer, behind the nice warm keyboard. Anyway, we're going to move on.
Bank of America across the 25. Yeah. And after that, Chase, and then the Federal Reserve, and then we'll go to Wall Street.
So we'll run a little tour of the financial district. Sorry to get you guys here, but the computer's acting up and it's not working right now. The computer, so if you're just joining us, my apologies for the technical glitch. Got a nice crowd of about 50 people. We're headed through the financial district of New York. For those of you just joining us, thanks for watching. No doubt. Warming up for you? Yeah, moving around helps.
So much.
Yeah, we got a couple of blocks here. We're going up to back to Zuccotti, and we're headed for Bank of America.
Then they have them buy. Spread across the river in Jersey City, those places. They have the young people buy them.
most places there's no resale value. Anybody, especially in the investment part, they'll never.
49ers, yeah.
Yeah.
And they will not have resale.
Go Niners.
The kids are all being.
A shout out for my San Francisco friends. Howdy, howdy. We're on our way back to Zuccotti Park. Headed for Bank of America. The second leading thief in America today. Down here by the hole, World Trade Center Memorial. We're on a march. Headed for Bank of America, then Chase. No, we just hit Chase, sorry. We have a couple more banks. We're going to hit the Federal Reserve as well. Oh yeah.
It's very important. And then when you talk in public, it's very important. Use a few decibels higher when you're talking about the inequalities.
Oh yeah, you gotta raise your voice so everybody can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, the bus, the subway, that's like you've got like a audience there. Very important. I was just talking by Clark, by the way. What's your name?
Clark.
Clark, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody that I know. He's a Republican, diehard Republican. But regardless, you know, just talking, we know that they're all kind of the same now. We need that third party if that even makes a difference, you know, because that, you know, corruption is corruption. You know, once you're playing in the same ball field, you know, they just get corrupt. So
right.
If you start out good, you end up corrupt.
That's right.
And just talking on the bus with him about jobs and how things are so tough now, and he tries to say, well, if you let me get a word in edgewise. I said, oh, okay. Well, I'm leaving now, but sure, you're more than welcome to get a word in edgewise. But it turns out, you know, I just compared just with the fact of how hard it is to get a job. Years ago, in the 80s, you lose your job in a week or two, you have another job. That's without a doubt. Here now, this is not the way it is.
Rough
You have
times.
to do somersaults, somersaults. So the economy is getting better? No, it's not. You can't convince us of that. I have too many friends that have fallen out of the system, you know. They just stop looking now. They get tired. And they have to depend on others. I think a lot of people know someone that's dependent on someone else to help them out. You're this. No, the economy doesn't get better until there are more jobs. And unfortunately, the outsourcing and the technology and everything else is, and they're not creating livable wage jobs.
Okay, I know that's
You
that
know?
for a fact.
Yes! So there is no argument, actually. But I didn't give him a chance to finish up. I mean, what argument can you do? Not everybody can afford to pay outrageous school fees. What are you supposed to do?
What would you talking about?
Yeah.
World Trade Center Memorial, still under construction. Temperatures actually gotten up to a toasty 48 degrees.
I love it. That woman was from England. Says, we're good unionists over there. You know, you love to talk to people. That's one of the fun things about our movement is getting a chance to talk to people. You know, Clark?
I agree.
Telling people about what this is all about and how you have to stop, you know, just not paying attention. Time to pay attention now. Don't just, you know, put on that TV and think you're going to get all your information. It just doesn't work out that way. Corporations own the media. I convinced my husband finally of that because my husband would try to say all the time, well, I didn't see that on TV. I didn't see that on the news. And he said, intelligent man. Did his time, you know, working in the union. And now he doesn't say that to me. He's got it now. And see, it takes some people, it takes time.
Right.
You know, you have to clock in and a few times, and then they finally got it. I was at work and I was watching the news. I was surveilling, and 1010 News said, and usually, you know, this isn't so prominent, and even our own media has no choice but to get it out there. Of course, you know, media like, I work for Channel 7, ABC. It sounds more glorious than it is. I work for the union, and anyway, so usually we know MSNBC is pretty good. You know, the other day I took off from work and I was watching the Ed Show. I thought that was pretty good. And they had, you know, Bernie Sanders and Larry Cohen, head of CWA, who was talking against CPP. But I heard in 1010 News that half of Americans do not trust their government, do not trust them to do the right thing for the people. And I said, that's great. That's the first time I saw on regular TV that being put out there, you know? And I told my boss that he knows that I'm part of Occupy. And he says, well, half of those people on that survey also think the corporations are going to fix it. So you see, well, that's where the problem is, okay? We got to keep telling the people the corporations are not on your side. Yes, I know we need to work for them. It's a shame that we have to. But the bottom line is they can't do more to get rid of your job. The quicker they get rid of your job, the better as far as they're concerned. They just work for the stockholders. I was on a protest. I think that was... yeah, I think it was the second anniversary or something. Anyway, you know, you go to so many protests. And this man saw my sign. It was, oh, it's against Walmart? Well, I don't know. Anyway, there were a few protests that day. And the sign was against Walmart and something about money, our money. And he says, what do you mean your money? What are you talking about? Yep. And I said, he says, are you a stockholder? I said, no, but the stockholders are the problem. That's why we have so many problems. And he just looked at me and he walked away, you know, like stormed away, you know, but that's where the issue is. The stockholders, you know, I mean, it's all about them getting rich on our backs. And we just, back to the point that how many workers can they not have to do the same job? That's the aim. I like your hat.
I believe we're going to be making a left up here.
Oh, this is us. Okay.
There we go.
Shut up and keep going.
Oh, you shut up! Oh, you shut up!
No way! We are the 99%! We are the 99%!
99%!
That's right.
We are the 99%!
He's just kidding.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
We're back up by Zuccotti Park. For those of you watching,
I think that's where we're at.
trying to catch up to the.
Oh, we will. We always do. We always catch up. You doing all right there, Clark?
Oh, pretty much.
What?
It's a workout, but I'm getting around.
Okay, they like to go to Bank of America now.
Yep.
Let the sun shine on us.
That was a welcome bonus. Yeah, raging about our crossing. Thank you, sweetie.
Staten Island is in the house.
All right.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Oh, I got
Mic
you.
check! What to do? Speak out right now.
Speak out right now.
On Bank of America.
Bank of America.
Our presenter is Larry Holmes.
Larry Holmes.
From the People's Power Assembly.
From the People's Power Assembly.
Give him a hand.
Mic check. Mic check. Bank of America.
Bank of America.
One of the biggest banks on earth.
One of the biggest banks on earth.
Is a big beneficiary.
Is a big beneficiary
of Citizens United.
Of Citizens United.
Bank of America.
Bank of America.
Goldman Sachs.
Just like Goldman Sachs.
Citibank.
Citibank.
And Morgan.
And
Chase.
Chase.
Have never been more powerful.
Have never been more powerful.
Have never dominated the globe.
Have never dominated the globe.
Have never been richer.
Have never been richer.
Have never had more control over the economy.
Have never had more control over the economy.
Over people's lives.
Over people's lives.
In all of the history of civilization.
In all of the history of civilization.
This is seriously wrong.
This is seriously wrong.
This is seriously wrong.
This is seriously wrong.
This is effed up.
This is effed up.
This bank has destroyed cities.
Has destroyed cities.
This bank has foreclosed on millions of homes.
Has foreclosed on millions of homes.
This bank is responsible for mass homelessness. This bank is responsible for low wages. High unemployment. More misery. More suffering. More deprivation. And more poverty. One of the proudest days of my life was a few years ago when I was arrested inside Bank of America on Martin Luther King Day, demanding jobs, bail-out workers, not banks. This Monday is Martin Luther King Day. A big blow that we can make against Bank of America, all the other big banks, and Citizens United is to make Martin Luther King Day a day for workers and not banks. Some of us will be at LaGuardia Airport Monday morning supporting low-wage airport workers who make minimum wage, fighting for 15 an hour, and a union. At 1 o'clock, we'll be at Union Square, fighting for workers in these fast food restaurants and all the other places that play close to minimum wage. And on Martin Luther King Day, we'll say bail out the workers and not the banks. Thank you.
And then we'll be going right to Federal Reserve, which is right behind it, and then we'll hit Wall Street.
Yeah. Right. Stop. Speed on.
All right, just make a left.
Thank you.
Just like Martin Luther King said in Birmingham in 1963, I am here because injustice is here. We are here in front of Bank of America because injustice is here.
We're on the move again. We're headed towards the Federal Reserve.
I never have won that minimum speaker's permit with him around.
You don't need a bullhorn.
That's right.
I got nothing better to do. When my father was a kid, when my grandfather was a kid, right? He wanted TV set. He goes, all of a sudden, one day you just heard this smash. My father, they ran into the living room and ran to the house. My grandfather picked up the TV set and threw it through the window and said, "That thing's an idiot, Bob. It's make you crazy." My father didn't grow up with TV either. He goes, "What is this? Americans are nuts watching this thing." My grandfather said, he was sitting there just laughing hysterically for no reason at all. And he realized that he picked it up and threw it, and it was usually something evil. So I grew up with TV. Yeah, I won't do TV sets in my life. I had a black and white. We had tapes while they were watching it.
Oh my
Morgan, see you crying.
Where are you? You holding this? I'm looking at Margaret. Or somebody anyway?
I got other sides. I got other sides.
Okay, I got it.
Martin Luther King related.
Okay, well, I'm taking pictures, so.
All right, guys, I'm going to shut it down. Just a second. I'll be right back.